Here we are for the early top-up show, or the late top-up show. We're at Rosehill Racecourse on a beautiful, beautiful day. Second day of the STC Carnival. Unfortunately, we're the only ones out here because no one comes to this stage for some reason. Mark, what's the story?
I don't know, the traffic was light. I suppose Easter at Rosehill is not a recognised phenomenon.
I suppose it is.
Welcome back, Paul Daly, after tipping half the card last week and overshadowing the previous show. We hope you can repeat the dose.
Yeah, well done, Paul.
Tough meeting this week.
Yeah, but we've had a bit of a discussion on the way out about the way the track might play. There's cloud around, it's sunny intermittently, it's quite warm. They put some water on the track yesterday and they came up with quite a high penetrometer this morning, so I think, Paul, you were worried that it might be off the fence, or are you?
Well, only because of the evidence that we've got. There's 4 meetings, well, this will be the 4th meeting, I think, Mark, in the last 3 years in this rail configuration, and each of those were inside totally off.
Yeah, which it does
sort of exciting.
It does add a bit of spice to this meeting if we're forecasting things to play that way. We kick off with the 2-year-old, which I know there's a number of differing opinions around. The market this morning just tightened up on Spin and Osorno. I wouldn't say a lot of action early doors. Paul, I think you've got something to say about this race that we may not have canvassed on the previous show.
Look, on the presumption that the inside's no good, I've come up with Perfect Pitch's favourite in a horrible race. I know it went to Canberra and it sat wide and no cover the entire trip.
Canberra, what do you know?
No, Rosehill.
Oh, sorry, Rosehill. I'm thinking about Liberals.
Getting ahead of yourself there.
Yeah, I am getting ahead of myself, yeah. And
well,
yeah.
what's 3 and 4 was throughout last up, wasn't it?
Yeah, that's right.
And didn't shirk its task last year. Because when I do the previous show, I haven't got all the tapes done. I was surprised how much of that was.
And it was in the worst going. So, you know, on that basis. So 1,400 metres first go.
Finds Brenton Abdullah from G. Schofield.
I think it maps, you know, probably potentially top 4 and maybe, you know, 4 too wide maybe.
Okay.
And
pull out, be on pace and get away with it.
It's a silly price. I just think that, you know, I'm going to make it a decent result, but I'm not a confident man in this race.
It's a speculative race. Any comment on the Melbourne form, Paul?
Not really, no. I think that that horse, number 5 we're talking about?
No, 12, 13.
And 5
and today. Had too good a time at Jade Temple last night, right?
Yeah, 5, 12, 13, Paul.
The stewards are saying...
Yeah, 5. Okay, so the 5, that ran on nicely, that horse, but it was bias assisted. There was very much play towards the inside that day.
Yeah, that Australian Cup meeting we're talking about.
Yeah. So I'm saying that I've got a second pick at about the 13 to 2, 7-1 mark. So yeah, but once again, it's an awful race.
England can't make the weight, so A. Adkins is riding.
Adkins goes on Sweet Ava.
And for 2 is to be ridden more forward from its inside gate, which
potentially that's like that. It can go a little bit more. Probably, I've got legislation potentially leading this. Ring a ding ding. I think it has to go forward from the gate. Sweet Ava's there, and yeah, I can see for 2 going a little bit more forward there.
Race 2, the move in the race is actually almost caught into 7.5, which defies my predictions. I thought with the presence of Arbites that almost caught would lose fans on account of that, but that hasn't been the case this morning.
Maybe
I guess
a bit of a feel that Arbites really going to struggle at 2,000, and if almost caught looking at he's the first to go past it.
Maybe. I couldn't be persuaded of that, but that's not an unfair reading of the market. Paul, I presume you're going to sit with the market as far as the whale in the bay is concerned, number 1.
Yeah, well, 3 to 1, tiny little bit longer in the market, but yeah, you look at its trials and so forth, and it's been slow out in all those trials. It's probably going to be back near last, isn't it?
It's going to be back, but both trials I thought were okay, didn't you?
Yeah, okay. Just not the sort of horse. I mean, 475 days import. It can beat me, put it that way. I won't be supporting it. For me, I'm with beats them its favourite, but you know, probably almost right to 4.
It's a topical tip. Easter Saturday, 1 foot in heaven.
Probably.
I've got 1 foot in hell, unfortunately.
Race 3, the move this morning. Nieta is to be more forward, and Fell Swoop is 10 into 7.5. Bit of money for Sprite and Valero King. A fraught race, Paul. I think it's a shopper's race, isn't it?
I think so. Yeah, I think it's a pricing.
Obviously, we'll be very, very keen to assess the track at this stage as well.
For sure. I mean, Sprite's trial was good. I like that, but I'm worried about it's going to be sort of back on the inside, so that concerns me.
Glenn, this could really suit your horse, which is actually 8.5 out to 14.
Kaepernick?
Yeah.
I agree. I like that. I'm getting more excited by the minute. I can't wait for this day to start.
The mares race has seen support for Dixie Blossoms and Fox Play, 13 to 4 and 11 to 4 Dixie Blossoms, and 8 to 1 into 5 to 1 Fox Play, which once again sort of flies in the face of the way that I thought the market would shift. I think, Paul, you're different to the current market movements as well.
Yeah, look, if the track is a run-on track, I think that those horses have been supported for that reason. So maybe they're
anticipating a run-on track.
Yeah, I think the expectation might be there for that. I'm going with the obvious, and I'm saying that this is, if horses on pace can sort of feature. By race 4, I'm saying Daisy Doom and Prompt Response is the only way you can bet, and I think you need to bet right up on this race.
Race 5, the Tulloch, and Gord's Tip Primitivo is $12 into $8. Tangmere is $17 into $10.
Very solid this morning on the fair.
It's another of these races, isn't it, that beauty is in the eye of the beholder. Paul, have you got any insight to offer the late shoppers here?
Oh, well, I mean, you sort of mark the New Zealand horse, I suppose, favourite just purely because where it sits, but I think Lavendi maybe, tricky race.
I think we'll see Gord to the 4 there. I think Gord's on the right run track there with that horse, Primitivo.
Okay, well...
and how can you stop Gord?
We'll see.
Did run some very nice sectionals there at Canberra, 1400 to 2000.
It's John Thompson, I suppose. It's a horse that they would have been thinking about this style of race for it. The feature, the Tancred, and Galo Shop is out to 7 to 4. Almandan's into 2 to 1, and Kathy's had support as well.
What's the Kathy money all about? Almandan looks the one here from the barrier and the way the track is going to be, if it's going to be that way, Mark.
I look. That's the way I approach this race. But Paul, I think we're in the same camp here. Is that as hard as we try to be away from Galo Shop, and as soft as we want to be on Almandan, it's hard to get them close together.
Yeah, look, I've got Galo Shop very short on figures, but 2400 I think is the only query. But I mean, this horse did fail overseas, I think, over that distance. But I mean, it's a totally different horse now, and it's flying. So if it runs the 1.5 miles, it's very, very hard to beat. And I think that's the wrong price. I think it should be short.
But it is an interesting betting duel, that's for sure.
It is. The pattern will be all important.
The Storm Queen Unforgotten's has been trimmed up from 7 to 2 into 13 to 4. Hyam's had some support at longer odds, and Samari's the best back runner in the race, $17 into $11. It's a wild card. Has it got any numbers to offer in this race, Samari, Paul?
Last 2 wins, it's basically run the fastest, 12, 10, 8, 6, 4 and 2 at the meeting.
Wow.
But they have been sort of weak meetings, and the figures aren't that strong. It's one of those horses I've got it mapping well back, and I have to be against it. I'm a lot longer than the current market price. I think it's a very open race for Elise. I've got favourite reluctantly at around about the 5 to 1. I'm against Unforgotten at the price. The New Zealander number 8. It was placed in the New Zealand Derby, and it's got that Vinda Dance line.
Yeah.
So it's some sort of hopeless.
It could be a mounting yard mail race, Glenn, because
I'm excited. I'm excited about one.
Philly's getting the 2,000.
I'm excited about 1 and 2, like Quinlan in the race, the last 200 with this caller going Elise and Louisier. It'll just tickle me up if he gets all tongue.
The penultimate Radipole 7 into $5. Ecuador has continued to have support after me poo-pooing it. It seems like everyone's gone. What's Mark bagging? What's Perla bagging on the previous show? Well, that'll be good. Ecuador's $10 into 8.5. But I probably not much betting interest early.
Tricky race.
Yeah, and obviously the pattern will come into play as well.
The pattern will come into play massively there.
It's going to affect it today. I mean, I could have a totally different set of numbers after race 2 or 3.
I could mark also like number 3 there, Duca Valentino, like it's 5 to 1 favourite, and it's $15 at the moment if the pattern is left and down the outside.
Yeah, is it Glenoff?
And Glenoff.
The nightcap, Osborne Bull's fairly firm, and his stablemate Mogest is
Wow.
$5 into 420.
Barrier 1 and Barrier 2. We'll really want to get our head around this race coming.
Well, Gun's been.
Gun works out. By the same token, you know, you can't get him. You can't just move your positions. You get stuck on the inside of Kembla.
Yeah. Well, but it didn't try to get off the inside of Kembla. Just. Anyway, Paul, can you get these horses this short?
No, I'm against Osborne at the price. I'm much longer. Mind you, I've been hard. Stonebrook, I've got a reluctant sort of top pick. Beau Guest, I've got it right there. But even a horse like Up and Rolling is a chance in this race.
You can see Stonebrook there leading, and Hieronymus just edging left, edging the middle of the track.
And that's the thing is these run-on tracks can be also favourable to leaders, pace horses because they get out and they control the race and they effectively make it a tighter circumference.
Look, I'm interested in running line horses and horses that lead on these tracks, or that control on the tracks. Glenn, what are we playing today? What are we saying today?
Well, look, keep your eyes open early for this track. I think it's the most important part of the day. It's going what you guys have forecasted early. We've got full fields, tricky fields, looking for a bit of value in most races, and looking forward to a day's wagering, as per usual.
That's
like
right.
I do. Even when I was betting on West Australia in run last night whilst eating an Easter egg, managed to pick up $650 and loved every cent of it.
We'll cover that on Tuesday when we
Good on you, West
we'll ask the question, why can't we have Good Friday racing?
Why can't we have Christmas racing?
Same deal. Well, the rugby league they play on Good Friday, so it's open slather as far as I can see. Paul, have you got any sort of summation?
No, you're right, love.
If the pattern suggests that the horses up on speed that can still feature after the first few races, then I really want to open up on Daisy Doom's race, back in and prompt response.
Right, that's your
clearly the strongest plays for me, but I'm not I don't have the same feel as I had last week.
Yeah, okay. Well, look, I'm with Daisy Doom. I tipped it on the previous show yesterday. I actually made my best today with the forecast of the track in mind. Radipole race 8, number 9. So they're my 2 to feature for today. Now, don't forget that.
No one asked me.
Well, you're supposed to spruik the rant.
Don't forget to get involved with us on the rant. If you want to get involved with the rant, email Mark at whatever his email address is on the RacingRant site. And there's always 2 weeks available for any new customers for free. Love to have you aboard.
Thanks very much for watching us. We'll be back for members on Tuesday with the rant, and there'll be a Saturday top-up show next week for the first day of Randwick.
Bye.